Thank you for taking time to interview with the Mizima. Yes, from your travel in South Asia, how do you view the issue of their plurality, particularly given the rise of Hindu nationalism in India and the rise of Islamic fundamentalism in Pakistan and Bangladesh?
I think my approach to pluralism is derived from the work and ideas of Mahatma Gandhi.
Right.
And Gandhi was very conscious of the need to maintain linguistic and religious pluralism in India. Because India is a country of many languages, many religions. So, for example, on our rupee note, we have 17 different scripts denoting 17 different languages. And when Gandhi came back to India from South Africa 100 years ago, 1915, there was a movement. There already was a freedom struggle to make India independent from British rule. But they wanted to follow the model of European nationalism, which is one language, one religion, one country. But Gandhi was against it. So he promoted linguistic pluralism. And he also emphasized that Hindus and Muslims and Buddhists and Christians must all live together. So, unlike Pakistan, which is an Islamic state, or unlike Sri Lanka, where the Sinhala language is the only national language, in India we always emphasized that we are a multi-religious, multi-linguistic state. And of course there have been some challenges. There have been some people who feel, no, we should be a Hindu state. Other people feel Hindi is the national language, everyone must speak Hindi. But those have not really destroyed the idea of pluralism that Gandhi put in. So in that sense, because of Gandhi and because of Gandhi's emphasis, I think we have not faced the kind of civil war that Sri Lanka faced or Pakistan faced. I mean, Pakistan was one country. It became two countries because Urdu, the national language, was imposed on the Bengali speakers of the East, and then there was a civil war. And then, of course, and in Sri Lanka also you had a civil war because the Buddhists who were Sinhala speaking in the south imposed Sinhala on the Tamils who were not Buddhists. They were Hindus and Christians and Muslims, and of course they spoke Tamil. So I think it's very important for any emerging country which is diverse, which has many ethnicities, many languages, many religions, not to feel nervous that only one language is needed to unite the nation or only one religion. And in that sense, India has modestly succeeded. It has not completely succeeded. You're right, there is a rise of Hindu nationalism, but it is restricted. It has not led to civil war. It is not like Pakistan. There are some ugly elements. They make nasty statements, but overall the society remains plural. And across India today, people of different religions, different languages, different ethnicities are able to mix in a democratic setup. And I think that's a very important lesson. And I think even for Myanmar, which is now going through a very important phase in its political history. It's emerging as a full-fledged democracy. I think next month, in March, a new government will form. And Myanmar is a very diverse country. It's a beautiful country. It's a country with great possibilities. It's with a very emancipated citizenry where women have equal rights. But I think pluralism must also be an important part of the identity. It is always a mistake to identify a nation with a single language or a single religion.
Okay. So, are these dangerous times? Is extremisms such as Hindu, Muslim, and Buddhist gaining a grip?
No, it is worrying. It is worrying because they feed on each other.
Right.
Hindu extremists need Muslim extremists. Muslim extremists need Hindu extremists. Because to justify the other themselves, they need someone on the other side. So it is a worry in South Asia and Southeast Asia. And which is where I always go back to Gandhi, because Gandhi was a Hindu, but he had Christian friends, Muslim friends, Buddhist friends.
Yes.
And I think that's very important, that while you can retain your personal faith, you must never impose it on someone else. And you must allow people the freedom to worship any god they like or no god they like. They can be atheists also. That should also be fine. And I think we have to find a way of coexistence based on the Gandhian model, based on mutual respect, toleration. And Gandhi was someone, he came to Myanmar also many times, Gandhi, and he had close friends here. So he was someone who traveled in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and he was a visionary in that sense who, if we were to take nourishment from his ideas, I think all of us can benefit, and the conflict and the fundamentalism can be tackled.
Of course. So for Mahatma Gandhi, so if he was shocked by the vision we see in South Asia, if he is alive this day,
he would be disappointed by the rising tension.
Yes.
But he would be happy that we are all independent. We are no longer colonized by a foreign power. He would be happy about that.
Yes.
He would be happy that women are becoming emancipated, because in the 19th century women were suppressed in the home. Gandhi was a great believer in women's emancipation, that women must be educated. He would be delighted that the major democratic leader in your country is a woman, Aung San Suu Kyi. He would be very happy about that,
Yes,
because he believed it, and also he would have been happy that she has practiced non-violence, that she has not taken up the gun.
Yes.
And so I think he would be happy about some things. He would not be happy about the conflict in Myanmar between religions, but he would be happy that there is a democratic movement that is non-violent, that is led by a woman, because I think that is something he always wanted women to play an important role in public life. So he would have a mixed feelings. Yeah. Whether it be Myanmar or India, he would have mixed feelings.
Yes. For looking back on history,
Yeah.
Was India partition is a mistake? What is your opinion?
See, my view is it happened. There's no point thinking about it. You can't undo partition. You can't become one country. So now the important thing is India and Pakistan should have good relations. That they should. Pakistan, unfortunately, is going through a lot of turmoil and tension, and they supported terrorism in Kashmir, which has now come back to hurt them. And now they recognize. I think the Pakistan army also finally recognizes that supporting terrorism is going to hurt them. So I think we need to cultivate good relations. I don't think we cannot undo the partition. Whether partition was a mistake or inevitable, it had to happen, we don't know. But we can't go back. We can't create a united India. So the important thing now is for Pakistan to tackle the fundamental, which takes very violent forms. Just 2 days ago, they attacked a university in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Bacha Khan University. Bacha Khan was a great follower of Mahatma Gandhi. He was the great leader of the Pashtuns, and he was called the Frontier Gandhi because he practiced non-violence. And the Taliban attacked a university and killed students. Some time ago, the Taliban attacked a school in Peshawar and killed 140 students. You remember that.
Yeah.
So I think these are things that must worry Pakistan, they worry India also. But partition cannot be undone. It happened. Now we must put the past behind us and look towards the future. Look to the future. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Do you see any danger to Myanmar on this score from outside? There have been concern voiced that terrorists might consider attack in Myanmar also. So because of poor treatment of Muslim Rohingya.
No, I think I don't know. I can't say. But I think it's important that more attention is given to the plight of the Rohingya. And I think not enough attention has been given. I think it was a mistake for the NLD not to have Rohingya candidates. They should have had some Muslim candidates so that they can represent. For example, when India was in the 1940s, when there was a danger that India will be partitioned, Mahatma Gandhi made a Muslim president of the Congress, Maulana Azad. He was a great Muslim leader. So the Congress had a Muslim leader, which meant it could not be, no one could say it's a Hindu party. Even though it may be majority Hindu, the leader of the party was a Muslim. So I think these are some of the things I wish Suu Kyi would learn from Mahatma Gandhi, that you have to bring people of every religion. She's a person of great courage, charisma, non-violence, but maybe she should speak out a little more. Terrorism is a global threat. It can come anywhere. These people are crazy.
Yes.
But we have to be careful about them. But regardless of terrorism, we must treat all our citizens equally.
So are there any signs that political relations are improving between India and Pakistan, particularly after Prime Minister Modi visit to Islamabad?
You see, whenever there is peace talk between India and Pakistan, the terrorists try to stop it. That happens every time. In 2008, Manmohan Singh who was our Prime Minister in 2008, he was actively pursuing a solution to the Kashmir problem with Pakistan. And there were many meetings. And then the terrorists attacked Mumbai at the Taj Hotel. Similarly, Prime Minister Modi went to Pakistan, and then there was a terrorist attack in Pathankot on an army base. So I think the terrorists don't like peace, but the military must come down. The Pakistani army must come down on the terrorists, and because I think good relations with Pakistan are very important for India, and good relations with India are even more important for Pakistan because it's a smaller country and it has to come out of that. But it's a difficult time.
Yeah. So, what would you say are the key of South Asia and Southeast Asia in pursuing the genuinely plural and peaceful society?
I think they have a great opportunity because these are to show to the world, to show to Europe. Now, Europe is having a problem how to deal with diversity, what to do with the immigrants. We are organically diverse. You know, Myanmar, Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore, India, these countries are organically diverse. They've always had people of different, cultures, nationalities, living in their midst. So I think it's very important that all the countries of Southeast Asia see pluralism as their strength, not as a threat. There's some people think you must be uniform. Everyone must have the same language, the same idea, the same belief system. That's a mistake. I think we can nurture diversity with democracy very well. And Indonesia has also done a good job. So, we can learn from countries like Indonesia and India, large, complex countries that have managed to hold together and nurture diversity. And of course, each of these countries must move towards multi-party rule. I think China has to become a democracy. Vietnam has to become a democracy. And only then they can realize their potential fully. So it's a slow process and we have to be hopeful.
Okay. So for the last word, for the Burmese people, what would you say to become a peaceful nation?
No, I think it's a great, it's a time of great opportunity for Myanmar. Right. Because, it's clear now that after a struggle that began in 1988, so we are talking 28 years, almost 30 years. After a peaceful struggle, for the first time you are seeing the possibility of a real democracy in Myanmar. And it's a tribute to the courage and struggle of the ordinary voter of Myanmar and the ordinary citizen of Myanmar, that they were able to rally behind the democratic forces and peacefully, without picking up a gun, just through the force of their numbers and their ideas, persuade the military to take a back seat. So it's a type of great opportunity, and but they have to be careful about, as I said, giving respect to the ethnic minorities, to the religious minorities, continuing what they have done in terms of the emancipation of women. They also have to make sure that the military does not come back into politics. Sometimes like in Pakistan, the military goes out, comes back. They allow a civilian chief minister, then a civilian prime minister, then there is a coup. Then after some time they again give it back to the civilian, then they go to the barrack, then after 5 years, So I think it's, the military will also have to behave very responsibly and sincerely, and make sure that a democratically elected government is given the full opportunity to run the administration.
Okay, thank you for giving us time this interview.
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you.